Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
Today is Sunday, and as you guys know, hold on, crumble up and throw this piece of paper. My Sundays are alternating as far as videos go. I don't know if I posted one last Sunday, but regardless of what the situation was, I was going to post today. I will be posting a video tomorrow too. So, we're back on posting videos very often, and Tuesdays and Thursdays and maybe Saturdays will definitely be stream days. So you guys will be getting something pretty much every day of the week from me as far as the rest of the summer goes, especially right now because I have some really good topics to talk about over the next few weeks and leading into July before preseason starts and then regular season starts, which I'm extremely excited for. Can't wait for the regular season to start because Lord, oh Lord, that literally, guys, I don't think any of us have been appreciating how well our channel has been doing over the course of the off season. Like, this off season has been the best my channel has ever performed, and I've already went through a regular season, so I can only grasping what I've learned over this off season and applying it to the regular season. It's gonna get crazy. So apart from that, I really want to thank you guys for all of the support lately. YouTube has been hoeing me out of everything, and it's just whatever. You guys that have been sticking through, setting notifications, commenting, talking to me, and doing all that stuff, I really appreciate you guys so much. So without me delaying this video anymore, because I always have something to say a minute and 45 seconds into every single video, let's get started with today's topic. So today's topic I would like to talk about is who are the biggest breakout candidates for next season. It's a very interesting topic to talk about, and one that I've been wanting to talk about for a very long time, but just really haven't gotten around to doing because I've been doing so much other stuff and I've had other things to follow up on about and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be giving you 3 players that I think have an opportunity to break out next season, a couple of which you would expect, and this is going to be an interesting debate. So go ahead and comment what your 3 top breakout candidates are down below in the comments, and we can go ahead and discuss this. I know it's going to be very interesting, but why not talk about it? So with all of that being said, let's get into the video. So I had a really difficult time putting this into order, but I want to start with my least to greatest. So it'll be 3, 2, and 1. So at 3, I have defensive end Marcus Davenport. And the reason that I have him at 3 and not at 2 or at 1 is because he was a rookie last year, and, having a solid second year isn't necessarily breaking out. But dealing with the circumstances that Marcus Davenport was facing last season, I do think he will break out. Last season, Marcus Davenport played in 13 games, had 4.5 sacks, and a forced fumble. And the reason why I think this is so impressive, guys, is because this 6'6", 265-pound defensive end, who we traded 2 first-round picks to get, had this to say on February 6, 2019, when the season ended. He posted on Twitter a picture of him in the hospital bed and said, "Most people don't know, but I had been dealing with what was considered a season-ending injury all season," Davenport wrote on Twitter. "Luckily, I was able to play through the pain, and although not a 100% finish to the season, I promise to come back better. Thank you to all that supported." So what I'm hearing and what I'm grasping from that information that Marcus Davenport revealed on Twitter is that he really went out and played 13 games with what was considered a season-ending injury. I'm not really sure on the specifics of his injury. I'll probably put a little thing in the bottom left corner that'll let you read off what the injury is. I should have looked that up beforehand, but I know he was dealing with something in his lower foot region, and it was sidelining him a lot. He had a lot to deal with, and right as the season ended, he got surgery for that injury. So he was playing through something serious all season and still managed to amass 4.5 sacks. I'm really excited to see Marcus Davenport play. I think he can be exactly what we need to complement Cameron Jordan on the defensive line. Having Marcus on one side, Cam on one side, Sheldon Rankins and Malcolm Brown presumably in the middle once Sheldon Rankins comes back, our D-line will be literally scary. Like, we will have one of the best defensive lines in the league. We will have two-star defensive ends who I think Marcus Davenport's a double-digit man. I think he can get double-digit sacks this season. I think he is going to get double-digit sacks this season. But having two double-digit guys on each end, Sheldon Rankins, who had 8 sacks last year before tearing his Achilles, and Malcolm Brown, who it can be slept on and do work. They're going to be focusing so much on Davenport, Jordan, and Rankins. That man, Malcolm Brown, is going to find himself with a free alley sometimes. So Marcus Davenport is going to break out himself and is probably going to give the D-line something so valuable that I won't even be able to put it into words. But my number 3 candidate for breaking out is Marcus Davenport. I really, really, really think Marcus Davenport is something special, and if he doesn't break out, give him another year, but this guy, he's something special. Watch out for double-digit sacks for Marcus Davenport next year. The next player I would like to talk about is wide receiver Trey Smith. Trey Smith is someone who I am very, very, very high on. This is my second breakout candidate. This 6'2", 210-pound wide receiver playing opposite of Michael Thomas. He has shown a lot of promise. If you guys watched this year, the games where he was given opportunities, he really, 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 really took off. So he only had 3 games in which he was targeted more than 4 times. 3 games in which he was targeted more than 4 times. Against Washington, Trey had 3 targets, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Against Philadelphia, Trey had 10 receptions, 13 targets, 157 yards, and a touchdown. This kid has shown serious potential. I think we need to give him more opportunities. He's probably an opportunistic player. He had 427 yards last season and 5 touchdowns with a 63.6% catch rate, which is really solid for a rookie season. Putting a wide receiver with as much talent as Trey Smith into one of the best, most self-sufficient offenses in the league, run by Sean Payton, Pete Carmichael, and Drew Brees, it's going to be a really, really, really special year for Trey Smith, in my opinion. I think that this guy can do so much more than he did last season. He is the number 2 wide receiver we've been looking for. I don't say that lightly. There was a very mixed feeling for me as far as Trey Smith was during the regular season because he just had trouble getting open, and that's what the issue was, but adding Jared Cook takes so much pressure off of everybody else. This is literally prime year for Trey to break out. With a mentor, one of the best wide receivers in the league and one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, finally being able to play a full offseason with this team is going to benefit Trey so much. I'm telling you, expect him to have a very solid year next season. I think he can be a 10-plus touchdown guy. If not even a 10-plus touchdown guy, he can get 1,000 yards. He was targeted a grand total of 44 times last season. Trey Smith was only targeted 44 times last season and still amassed 427 yards and 5 touchdowns. If you give Trey more targets, if you give him more plays in which he is a star, he can really work. I think Trey Smith is one of the best draft picks we've had in a while. We just need to give him grounds to prove himself. This offseason, Sean Payton's going to see a lot from him in camp. Michael Thomas is going to mentor him. We are going to have a really disgusting wide receiver duo in Michael Thomas, Trey Smith. Probably throw the speedster Ted Ginn Jr. in the slot and have Jared Cook at tight end. Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray at running back. Who's stopping us? Trey Smith, watch him next season. He is for sure a breakout candidate. Let's go ahead and get into the last player. All right, my last player on this list, some of you may have seen this coming. I have been talking about this player in specific for a very long time. If you go back and watch my old videos before the last regular season started, back in July of last year, this was my number one breakout candidate, safety Vaughn Bell. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it, Vaughn. I'm waiting for you to break out. He has had a very solid 3 years in the NFL. In 2016, he had 87 total tackles, a sack. In 2017, he had 83 total tackles and 4.5 sacks. And in 2018, he had 89 total tackles and a sack. He is the definition of a pure, strong safety. He just really, really, really lacks playmaking ability. And I understand as a strong safety, you're not going to be going up and one-hand mossing wide receivers. No, you're not going to be doing that. But I want to see some more forced fumbles, which I think he did have a couple last season. I don't know why it's not showing those. If I go and click here, he did have a forced fumble last season and had 2 forced fumbles in 2017 and 2 forced fumbles in 2016. He is only 24 years old. This is going to be his 4th year in the NFL, and he has been an extremely solid safety. He only started 8 games last year, which, seeing that every single year his games started have dropped. They went from 14 to 10 to 8. Hoping that doesn't happen this year. I really want him to be able to prove himself. We just need to see something from you, Vaughn. I believe with all my heart that Vaughn Bell can break out. I really do. I think he can. I think he has it in him to go out there, get a couple interceptions, get a couple forced fumbles, get some sacks, get some big hits, show that he can hit people. I know Vaughn Bell can. He's an amazing run stopper. He can pressure the quarterback, has had at least 3 quarterback hits from every single season he's been in the NFL, 3 in 2018. 6 in 2017 and 4 in 2016. He can hit quarterbacks. He can stop the run. He can do everything a safety needs to do. He just lacks big play ability. And when you're in the NFL, the bare minimum is not going to cut it. Doing your job decently is not going to cut it. Doing only certain aspects of your job is not going to cut it. And the Saints either showed scared feelings for depth or concern in player ability by drafting 2 safeties this year, one of them being one of the draft's best in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and another being a depth piece, in my opinion, Saquon Hampton. So Vaughn Bell needs to prove himself. He needs to break out. This is his last year to do so, in my opinion. And with all of that being said, I think he will go out and do it. I think he will do what he needs to do. I think he will get done what he needs to get done in order to keep his job, to save job security. I think he will do it. And with all of that being said, let me know what you guys think down below. Who are your top 3 breakout candidates this year? In order from least to greatest, 3, 2, 1. Y'all know how I do it. Go ahead and comment down below. What I wanted to say this before the video started, but I forgot. There will be more stuff on this wall in the next video. And the next time you click this, there will be some cool new stuff on the wall. So get ready to see that. I just realized this is off balance. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Screwed it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Adios. Let me fix this.